Meeting is now streaming live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our monthly session. This is Sharon Harrell from Royalty Business Group, and I'm excited about who we have joining us today. I have with us Anthony Harrell Jr., Sydney Brooks, and Shakana Ripley. They are some young entrepreneurs doing some great things. And so I just want to go around and have them introduce themselves. So I'm going to first start with Shaquana. If you don't mind introducing yourself, telling us a little bit about you and where you're from and about your business.
Yes, my name is Shaquana Ripley. I am from
Shaquana. I think we lost Shaquana. She'll be back. We're going to go, while we wait for Shaquana to come back, I want to go to Anthony.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Anthony Harrell Jr. I hail from Washington, D.C., currently based out of Memphis, Tennessee. The name of my brand is Samir Caprese. What it is, we are a fashion lifestyle brand, main focus on studio design and clothing. So currently we are not producing any products at the moment, as we are in I want to say like regrouping stage, but we will be back soon with some more products.
Great. And so we got Shaquana just jump back on. So Shaquana, you're on mute. Tell us about yourself.
Okay. Yes, my name is Shaquana from North Carolina. I have the name of my business is Baka Brand. We have skincare products. I publish books. I think that's it for right now. So yeah, I have like 4 books on Amazon. I have a website. It has hair care, skincare products. And I started this business because my daughter, she has really bad eczema. As far as the skincare is concerned, she has really bad eczema. She's always had it since she was a baby. So we started probably about maybe 3 or 4 years ago, probably a little longer than that. Started making it with natural products versus things that we bought in the store. So, and they work for us. So I decided to start making it for other people.
Awesome. Great. Thanks for sharing that. Now, Sydney, tell us about your business.
Hi, I'm Sydney Brooks. I am from Maryland, and I currently do party decorations, treats, and gifts like balloon garlands, chocolate covered strawberries, apples, whatever you name it. Outside of that, I do gift baskets, diaper cakes, all types of crafts. And the name of my business is Sid Creates. And I am just getting back to it after, being on maternity leave for a while. So, I'm happy to be able to get back into what I love to do.
Awesome. So yeah, we see your beautiful baby right there, taking care of that beautiful baby. So let me start with you, Anthony. Tell me, why did you start your business?
I started my business because I like clothes. And it started, I would say, when I was in high school. I would, go on YouTube and I would do research about different clothing brands and the history of the clothing brands, or different styles of clothing, different materials, how they fit, how they went together, how they looked on myself. And the passion just grew to where I wanted to share that, that desire, that love with others. So initially in college, I began a brand called Count Soul Apparel. We are the soul, got soul, that was our thing. And we did pretty well, first, I'm gonna say year and a half on the college campus, selling shirts, doing Mardi Gras things, sharing my vision, my expression of myself and the things that I liked with other people. I still, love the work that goes into it. Every day I, think about how can I make this better, or how can I, what's the next trend, and how can I improve upon things that I've already, been going on, and what makes me stand out. So just being different, my love for clothing, and the process of designing clothing and what goes into it, that's what caused me to start my brand.
Awesome, great. So Shaquana, you did mention that you started your brand because of your daughter.
Yes.
And so how has things grown? Because I believe that from what I know, you also include your daughter in your business.
Yes, of course. So she's our number one product tester. She's the number one product tester, and she also makes. Well, she used to make the lip gloss. She still makes the lip scrubs. Everything is vegan based because we like it that way. And as far as the growth, it's slow but steady. So it works. And it's enough for me and her because it's just me and her right now. It's not like a big team behind me. Everything is I funded myself. So it's like, yes, it's slow but steady.
Okay. And so Sydney, tell me what made you get started in doing your business?
So I started doing mine around 2016, I want to say. And I started it because I wanted to have a party. I'm sorry. Okay. I wanted to have a party, and I didn't want to pay for the decor and everything. So I got on YouTube and figured it out myself. And then after I started doing that, I was like, oh, I like doing this. And people started asking me to do stuff for their events. And so then I turned it into that.
Awesome. So I also have another guest with us, Rodney Black. And so Rodney, tell us about your entrepreneur journey. I know that you have done some things in the past. So tell us a little bit about yourself and what you've done.
So I'm Rodney, and do a lot of marketing stuff, or have done in the past. I guess for different small businesses, political campaigns, radio, yeah. So digital marketing, email, social media, mostly like stuff like that.
What made you get started in your business? What led you to your business?
So I was learning to do marketing so I could sell music. And I wanted to learn, how to reach a lot of people at once without spending a lot of money, because I didn't have a lot of money to spend. And I was maybe 19, maybe I would say probably 20 or 21 around this time. And, the internet, as far as like internet marketing, YouTube and things like that, were just getting popular. And it made sense to me to learn how to, take advantage of that.
So tell our guests how old you are now.
A lot older than that. I'm 34, so it's been a while.
So you've been doing this for a while. That's great.
Yeah.
So just want to let our guests know that these young men and women are between the ages of 24 and 34. So they are out here doing some things and making moves. So what I'd like to know, and again, this is, I like to have authentic, open conversations with my guests, and just want to hear from you. Like, what is it that you want to see from your business? And anybody can start.
Okay, well, I go first. Currently, I want to see like just growth, personally within like the business itself, and just it coming together. Like in my mind, the objective is to like, sell and produce products for other people. But if I can produce products and make things and take care of my family, I think that's what's first, for me. And then moving from there for my growth in terms of my business on like the sales side, on just like the promotion side, just having things that are quality to produce rather than just kind of just slapping my logo on a t-shirt or, just throwing things out there for consumption when it's not, worth the actual work or effort that I put into it.
Great. Thanks, Anthony. Who else?
Definitely second what Anthony said as far as growth. You get into starting a business and, seeing it grow is definitely something that motivates you to keep going in the business, in your business or whatever. And also for me, I would like to see, I would just, I don't know how to put the terms right, but expand the products and services that I provide, try not just stay in one place, maybe in future have a venue or storefront, something of that nature.
So where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Shaquana?
In the next 5 years, as far as the publishing aspect of my business, I would like to have a few bestsellers because I'm not going to always be writing urban fiction. I have journals, like grief journals. Not only do I have journals, but Jada also has journals she makes, and we upload them to Amazon. So we have grief journals. Just to be in a better space. Like, I know my vision for the business, moving forward, like I'll probably say the next 10 years. I'm not going to say 5 because I think that's a little bit too close, but I really want a storefront, but it's not just a storefront. It's like the storefront for the skincare business. And then I want a tea house / book house. So it's a lot. Like, it's a multifunctional space, but I want it.
That's great. And so tell us, how old is your daughter, Jada?
Jada is 11 years old. She'll be 12 this year. Yeah.
So you said that you all have grief journals. Tell us a little bit about that. Like, you don't have to go into how you got, how you developed it, but just tell us about the purpose of the grief journals.
The purpose because I've always been a writer. So I've always been able to express myself better when writing versus when speaking. So it's easier for me to just write something down. And I learned that with Jada too, like she likes to write. So I was like, okay, well, maybe other people are doing the same thing. And then also whenever she was in therapy, they suggested the same thing. So I was like, okay, well, we'll start the grief journals and see how that helps, so that's what we did.
Great. So how about you, Rodney? Where do you see yourself in your entrepreneurial journey in the next 5 to 10 years? You're on mute.
So the next 5 years, I would say, I'm probably still going to be doing something having to do with selling things and helping other people. But so and following with that, I would say, having help maybe, or probably, us here on this live, get further in all of our entrepreneurial journeys, lending my, skill set to whatever I can do to, be of service in that way. And also charging strangers a lot of money to do the same things. But yeah, probably having built out a digital marketing company by then, in the next 5 years or so, doing, 1 or 2 million in revenue by then, I think. And yeah.
Okay. And so I appreciate hearing that, because I'm gonna need some marketing.
I know.
So for those of you that are on our live, and our guests out here, type into the chat, give us some conversation. We'd like to hear from you, want to know what your thoughts are. And if you have any questions for our panelists, please type them into the chat so we can definitely know what you're doing, what you're thinking, how, what you want to know from our panelists. So if you didn't know, these are all my family members. So these are my sons and my niece and my daughter-in-law, and they had my grandbaby up there a few minutes ago. So we all here with one big family, talking about our businesses and our entrepreneurial journeys. So I don't know if I'm kind of scared to ask this question, but I want to know, what type of, what did you learn, like financial, where did you learn that from? Where did you learn your financial savvy, and to get into, and I want you to be authentic. And any of you can start.
You made us read Rich Dad Poor Dad. All right.
Did you make us?
Me and Isaiah, me and Isaiah, like some version of Rich Dad Poor Dad books, and that kind of started interesting, being more fiscally responsible, kind of, being more money savvy, focusing on my bread, what I'm saying? And in school, little economics classes, Boy Scouts, personal management.
I don't remember being told to read Rich Dad Poor Dad, but I read it. I remember you having a lot of that type of stuff in the house. And so I do remember reading Rich Dad Poor Dad and being interested in the different quadrants and how to navigate them and move from one to the next. And I've always been interested in how things work, how things get to cost the way what they do, or why someone can charge, a certain amount of money for something that doesn't seem to cost that much, or to seem to be worth as much, or just how money works in general, I guess, and how business works. I think I learned a lot about money from messing my own money up, to be honest. And having to build my credit back and pay people when I thought I didn't have to pay, on credit cards and things like that. So that, along with, having, guidance from my parents in that respect as well. But mostly trial and error. And, I'm studious. So I look on the internet and learn a lot of stuff.
Awesome. So we have in the chat, people asking you to share your website. So I know Shaquana put her website in the Facebook chat. And so Anthony, can you just tell us your website, or you're in the process, or how people can get in touch with you?
Okay.
If they are interested in creating a brand.
Yes, currently my storefront is not active right now. Don't have anything up on there, but I do have an Instagram page. It is at Samir Caprese, spelled just like it is in the background right here, right? Samir Caprese. I will put it in the Facebook chat also.
And Sydney, I saw that you had put into the chat, but if you could let people know on Instagram or Facebook how to get, I see it, it just popped up. So we did have someone says that you know, Anthony, you have your t-shirt company. They like to know, you know, what type of designs do you have or can you create? You're on mute. You're still on mute. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, no. All right, so for my t-shirt company, most of it I'm trying to work on cut and sew more so. So like one-of-one designs, bespoke items is more what I'm trying to focus on now, sort of more like an atelier, less so as like a general t-shirt brand. Also, I had like different designs. I can make different designs depending on what the person's asking for. If they have specific requests, we can get like a PNG made, file made, and you know, go through designers and everything. If that's something that someone's interested in, they have like a special request. But as of now, like basic logo shirts, you know, working on sweatshirts and like I said, you know, material trying to be fashion forward.
Okay, and we have another question from your sister who says, do you plan to use your business to build generational wealth? If so, how? Any of you can respond to that.
See, what I want to do, I do want to build generational wealth, but I have the type of business where I'm not going to force my child, pass it along to my child or anything of that nature. Because, you know, what I do is you have to have a passion for it. You have to like to do it, you know. So my business wouldn't be like passed along for generations, you know. And maybe if they want it, they can have it, you know, but I would like to keep it going to make, you know, for as long as I can to build that wealth.
How about you, Shaquana? You on mute? Okay, there you go.
This was the question about generational wealth, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Eventually, because she won't have to, I don't think that she'll have to, she doesn't have to deal with it. She's not gonna have to deal with the day-to-day if we get as big as I hope. You know, hopefully we get a warehouse, we're able to hire people, you know, I can finally pass down the recipes and how to make the stuff. So I mean, I'm gonna let her choose her own path because like I said, she used to make the lip glosses, but when she decided that she didn't want to do that anymore, I didn't force her to keep doing it. So, you know, I don't know. It's yeah, hopefully I'm able to.
Okay.
I hope so.
So we have another question that says, who are the people that you look to for financial inspiration? So Rodney.
I wanted to answer that one. Okay. I wanted to answer generational wealth one as well.
Okay,
because
sure.
It occurs to me that you guys are talking about like passing your businesses down directly, which is one way to do it. But also you can just take the money that you generate and invest for your children. And then that way you can build generational wealth through, direct stocks, options, things like that, life insurance, or, different types of vehicles in that respect. But the second question was,
who are some people you look to for financial inspiration?
For financial inspiration. My mom, she's become pretty good with money, over the years. I have been able to watch that. I'm a big Jay-Z fan. I think he's very business savvy, and he also reminds me of myself in a lot of ways. So it's good to be able to see yourself in very successful people, because it makes you, think you can do it, which is awesome. Who else? Financial. I like Earn Your Leisure. It's a great podcast, the biggest. And they talk a lot about, money, business, and things like that as well. And I find a lot of good advice about investing and business in general from there. It's a bunch of other stuff, but I'll let someone else have it.
Okay. Who would like to share? Who are some of the people you look to for financial inspiration?
Well, I guess I'll break the silence, but not so much as people, like, like I look to my, my mom who's, got me here, for the most part, or put the thought into my mind. But I read a lot of like, Bloomberg. Sometimes I read Financial Times, listen to Financial Times podcasts, like New York Times, The Economist, financial podcasts. I try to, kind of just be mindful and stay aware of what's going on, in terms of like stock market news. We're going through inflation right now. So I look to, different sources, I would say, not just, different written sources for the most part, not necessarily just like people. Well, as Ronnie said, like Jay-Z is a great person to look at. I would say Rick Ross, right? Very good, financially savvy person in terms of like rapper, businessman, is in multiple business ventures, and is, even Tyler, the Creator, in terms of like marketing and promotion, and some of the things that he has said and spoken to about, like marketing and consistently putting your brand out there, and like be smarter about your money and focus on all those things. So
what would you say was one of the challenges, or some of the challenges that you faced in building your business? I think, Quana, you and Sydney have been in business probably, consistently the longest. What are some of the challenges that you face?
The money. The money was a really big challenge, because with mine, I have to get the product, make the product, and make sure I set the right price. Because if I don't set the right price, I don't make any of my money back. It's like I'm throwing it away. It's like I'm breaking even, to be completely honest. So yeah, definitely making sure that the right price point is set whenever I'm doing that.
How about you, Sydney?
Definitely pricing, making sure you I budget, give people the right price for what I'm providing for them, and just the supplies and everything, making sure I get my profit from it. That's one of the things. And then at the beginning for me was like overdoing it. Like with me being like a event stylist, if somebody wanted me to do a full event, I will just do more than what I was paid for, or I would just overbuy or stuff like that. Like that's something for me. Oh, and when I first started, making sure you get your deposits or your money up front in advance, because I had issues where people would take their time paying me, and yeah. So those were my main issues.
How about you, Rodney? Because I know that you mentioned a lot of things in marketing. What are some of the challenges that you faced?
Uh, Finding clients, I would say, is always, well, at least at first, kind of tough because you want to value your service at a certain price. And you also want, people to pay it. Like you want the people to pay that price. And if it's too much or if they don't understand, like, so I would say like, yeah, in finding clients, I think the real challenge there is like pricing, like getting your pricing correct. And also like actually explaining your service in a way that's like understandable, like the value is communicated adequately so that they understand why, so this thing, why I posted on Facebook, for example, it cost $1,000 a month. And, it it's a skill, it's a soft skill that you have to kind of develop over time, like being able to explain what you do in a way that communicates the benefit and value more so than like the actions and, features. But yeah, so probably I would echo the pricing concern or issue, and also like communication, maybe, which is interesting to be a marketing guy. Okay.
That could be for anybody, just trying to communicate what you do. You have it in your mind and you know in your heart what it is, but sometimes trying to explain it to others is not always the easiest thing to do. What about actually, like because of your age, was there any type of challenges that you faced and were able to overcome because you're young and you started off kind of young? Did you have any challenges with that?
You talking to me still?
I'm talking to all of you, so any of you can reply.
All right, well, I can go ahead and share. I think just being young, like the inexperience in running a business, knowing what was like necessary to run a business, and like, finding like inside of everything, finding the time to acquire those things. Like I started my business in undergrad. So, in the flow of trying to be in school and now in the flow of like, fatherhood and working every day, just finding the time, like, still, I guess, an experience because, my brain is still fairly young. And, just trial and error. I think that's like the biggest thing right now, like for me personally.
Anyone else like to share?
I didn't really have anything like as far as the beginning of, starting, but it now like a lot of things what Anthony said as far as trying to juggle how to manage these things when you're working a full-time job, being a parent, having a social life, be taking care of your own family, and making sure you manage your time wisely. So I don't know if that has anything to do with age, but yeah.
So that's a great segue, a point that you all are, you all are parents, you have full-time jobs, and you're running a business. How are you navigating that in your worlds?
It's chaotic. Very. Like, no, it's not really that bad. It's not really that bad, but I do I do work a full-time job, and I still have to take her to school because she doesn't go to a public school. Her school had to take her and pick her up. So it's like, and in between that, so what I do as far as my business is concerned with the products, I try to make a lot of products on one day. A lot of them on one day. Update the website to reflect what I have. That way, whenever people order it, I can ship it out on my next free day, because I work 2 jobs, as a matter of fact. So on my next free day, which is like a Tuesday or a Thursday, that's when stuff gets shipped for me. That's just, and make sure that you have a schedule. Make sure you're managing your time and resources properly, because even sometimes if I can't get to the post office, I do have a sister that can come and she can go and drop it off, put it in the box, and that's it. So, and as long as you have some type of support too, I think that'll help.
Okay, yeah, that's great. That's great, Shaquana, that you mentioned that you also having that support system in place. So, what else has others done to manage your time?
I wanna I'm still trying to figure that out. Like, I want to be like, yeah, schedule this, and you can make all these things happen. And I mean, but that's not the case. My son is, just under 4 months. So I'm still trying to figure out like how to get him to sleep, how to get myself and my girlfriend some sleep, and to get to work at a reasonable time so I can keep my job. And also, we do side work. I'm helping the company that I work for. So I guess I do have 2 jobs as well. And I'm helping the company I work for, build their marketing up so that we can have more business in that, field. But it's a juggling act for sure. But I mean, having support, because I really don't know how single parents do anything. And with just 1 child, I can't imagine having done that with 3. And so, congratulations. but like, absolutely having a support system and being able to lean on other people is a major key. And I think I don't think you can really get anything done like significant by yourself anyway, in any, in anything, whether it be like family, business, anything. You have to have people that you can trust and that can like carry the load with you. But I think that's it.
The support system is very important. So I do have a question. Oh, no. I said support system is very important. So I do have a question out here that says,
you still need it.
Me? Can you hear me? Okay. Was there any financial impacts to your business due to COVID? That's a question that came in our chat. Can you hear me?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Shaquana.
Okay. So yes, there was, because I had just started my business right before COVID. So I want to say it was maybe September or November officially. I think I had started saying stuff about it in September, and then in November I officially launched at least the skincare portion of it. I think both the skincare portion of it for sure. And so when COVID hit, it was delays in shipping time. I had to stop doing where I allow people to come and pick up stuff. So that slowed down a lot of my money, because a lot of my people were local. And they were like, okay, well, I can just come and pick it up. And I'm like, no, you can't. So that kind of took some money out of my pocket. And then too, with the price of everything that went up, yeah, there was a significant impact.
I just want to take a minute and thank those of you that are online with us. I see we have Lisa and Emma and Wendy and Deborah and Aletha and Lynn. Thank you all for joining us today and Chevelle. And just keep putting in the chat questions that you might have for our panelists or comments that you might have for them as they talk about their businesses, how they've been being able to move and grow and navigate life. As they said, they are parents, they are full-time employees, and they have almost a full-time business, you know, because business can't be really part-time. You have to put almost as much hours into your own business as you do for working for somebody else, and for you to grow and be successful. So we said what you said that all of you said that you're looking to build generational wealth. You have families that you are trying to build your generational wealth for. Where do you see that progressing? Like, what are you putting in place now in order for that generational wealth to keep going to further generations?
Saving money. That's something I'm doing right now. And also, like Rodney said, building accounts and, policies so that I can start creating that wealth, that generational wealth.
Anthony, would you like to share? What are you doing? What are you doing now to make sure that you are continuing generational wealth? What are you going to put in place? What are you teaching or plan on teaching your son?
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I can answer. So, as me and Nia just, we were actually kind of discussing it, purchasing assets, in his name, trying to build his credit, in terms, so, you can buy a house when you turn 18, so invest the money, then plan on putting it towards his college education or, whatever he decides to do after he, graduates high school and wants to pursue, whether it's a trade or whether it's travel the world, go backpack across Europe or, go get a college education. Just having that accessibility, investing, and like I referencing what I said before about watching the market, and kind of just building his credit up while he can't do it for himself yet, by making investments and smart investments or purchasing assets that appreciate in value, not things that might like depreciate in value.
What about you, Shaquana? We already know that you kind of, like you mentioned about your daughter having a business. What else are you doing?
What was the question again?
About building generational wealth. What are you putting in place now for you to build the generational wealth? What are you teaching your daughter in addition to her learning to have her own business? What else are you doing?
Right now we're just saving. We haven't invested any money into any like stocks and things like that or bonds. But just right now, just saving. That's it.
So I had a couple of things in the chat. First, I want to read the tip. It says, get a 529 account for your kids now. That's a tip from Lisa. And Aletha asked, what inspired you to step out on faith and create your own business? I know you mentioned it before, but what kind of led to your, how do I want to phrase this? What was it that you figured out was your passion that led to your business? Or I know, Shaquan, it sounded like when you built your business, when you determined your business, you were fulfilling a need for having the skincare for your daughter. And so how has that moved further? How have you been able to move further with that and been able to create your customers?
Because it's not just, of course I've created initially for her, but I like to help people too. And if I can bring them some type of relief, that works. Like I have like my nieces and nephews too. They've had issues with their skin. They use a special type of butter that I make for them. Because it seems like they all have the same type of issue or the same type of issues. So just being able to help people, really. Yeah, being able to help people is what helps me to keep going, at least. And as far as how it's grown and creating my customers, sharing testimonials from other people on how the products work, that seems to help a lot, especially in this type of industry.
So tell us a little bit more about your skincare line. What type of products do you have?
I sell, there whipped shea butters, cocoa butters. There's one that has like a mango butter and a cocoa butter. Some of them get expensive, especially the cocoa and the shea. And I have a hemp seed, like I have to use like hemp seed oils in one of them. And like I was telling somebody, they were asking me, why did I price? Because I have a 4-ounce jar, and how small my 4-ounce jars are. My 4-ounce jar was $20 for one of the types of butters that I have. And they were asking me like, okay, well, why is this $20 when you have the 16-ounce jar that's $20? And I'm like, I'm going to tell you, well, you can see each herb that's in there, and I want you to go, and I just want you to find online how much these herbs cost. I'm still underselling myself, selling you this for $20. So stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. You have oils.
Oils, yes. I have hair oils, body oils. I make soaps too, oatmeal soaps. All of the soaps are made from like they're made from an olive oil soap base. So they're really good for the skin, still hydrating. And then like the body washes and the face washes, they're made with the Castile soap and diluted, and then natural powders from like avocado and aloe. Some turmeric powders are added to some of them.
So if anyone's interested in finding out more about your products, they can go to bakethebrand.com.
Yes, that's right. www.bakethebrand. Yes, Aletha, they were formulated for people with sensitive skin specifically. So anything that's on the website that has OG beside it or that is not scented is super safe for people with sensitive skin. You can use it on babies and everything.
So Anthony, tell us about how you created your business. Like how did you select like your passion? What made you decide to go into clothes?
Oh, for those who missed it when I first explained, what made me go into clothes was like my desire. I just like fashion. So when I was in high school, I like to be fly, I like to dress. So it made me want to look more into it, like certain fits, certain cuts, certain styles, certain materials. I would go on, like I said, I would go on YouTube and I would search up different brands and how they were created and the history behind the brands and what made them, different from other brands at the time. And, like how, I like really like suits, in high school, really like suits and dressing up. So how, what suits went with this and what colors went with the shoes and the belt. And I was like, how can I give my swag to other people. Basically, how can I help them kind of grow, their personal fashion, things that they might like, things that they might enjoy. So when I went to college, I started a brand called Council Apparel. We did, like theme shirts, different t-shirts, for the weather. So in the fall, wintertime, we did long sleeve, Council shirts or Got Soul shirts. We had one that had like milk bottles on the front in terms of design that said Got Soul, like Got Soul. You have soul, I went to school in New Orleans. New Orleans is a very big city of soul, very big on the jazz culture. So I wanted kind of a brand to reflect that. As my brand matured a little bit, I had my son, and my son's name is Samir. I had Caprese, and the evolution of my brand from transitioning from more of like a RTW, like ready to wear clothing brand, to more of like an atelier, and more of like a bespoke, one of one, very unique pieces kind of brand.
Awesome. And so I know we are running almost to the end of our time, but I want to hear from Sydney, what would be one tip that you would give someone who is starting a business like yours?
One tip, don't compare your business to other people's. Your brand is your brand. Make it your own, and don't think about everybody's doing it. Like that's what scared me at the beginning was, everybody does balloons or makes chocolate covered strawberries, but they're not yours. So that's my tip.
All right. And tell everybody again where they can, how they can get in touch with you, where they can see some of your information and your great samples of things that you've been doing.
Yes, you can follow me on my Facebook page at Sid Creates, or my personal page, Hey Sid. It's always promoted on there. And that's also my Instagram. And I think I put the link in the Facebook chat for my Instagram. But Sid Creates, SYD with create with a K, KREATES. Sid Creates.
Can you spell Hey Sid for everybody?
Yes, Hey Sid, HEYYSYDD. Either one.
And, Anthony, can you share how people can contact you if they're interested in any clothing?
Yes, you can contact me or directly on Facebook at Anthony Harold Jr. Or you can go follow my Instagram at Samir Caprese, spelled SAMIR, Caprese, KAPRESE. It's also linked in the chat, right in the comment section down below.
Awesome. I'm not sure where Rodney went, but in case anyone wants to get in touch with Rodney and his get some marketing tips, help with any type of marketing and branding, how can we get in touch with you, Rodney?
Call my manager. You can email me, or I guess you can. You can DM me on Instagram. You can DM me on Instagram or Facebook. You can find me at Rodney Black or King Rodney. It's KINGRXDNEY. And same thing on Twitter. And I gotta go now.
Okay, well, thank you. All right, well, everyone, thank you so much for taking out your time today and being part of the panel. It was just so great. Thank you all for attending, and everyone out there that's been watching. Just want to let you know that this is going to be a monthly event where I'm going to come and have different panelists and people up talking about things. So next month, in the month of August, on the 10th, August 10th at 7:30 Eastern time, I'm going to have April B. April calls herself the affirmation activator. And the reason why she calls that is because she believes in affirmations. She believes that affirmations can, your words can change your life. You speak those words, and not only does she help you with creating affirmations, but she also helps you with a plan to implement those affirmations into your life. So we're going to come and have a conversation about affirmations and about finances and how you can use affirmations to speak into your life and to build finances. I've been doing affirmations for over 20 years, and I've seen how they have come into fruition in different parts of my life. So I just want to make sure that you come back. It'll be posted and everything on Facebook. And so make sure you come back on August the 10th, 7:30 Eastern time, where I'll have April B, the affirmation activator. Thanks everyone so much. Yep, make sure you put in all your information into the chat so people can see. Thank you everybody for joining us this evening, and you will have a great remainder of your evening and your day. All right, love you, love you all. Love you, family.
Love you. Thank you for having me.
Love you all. Thank you. Y'all take care. All right, bye-bye.
Thank you.